All right, welcome back. We got part 2 of the podcast for A Bit Too Far, the cryptocurrencies comic of yen.io. Dude, how we were just talking about mining rigs and making jokes about it and all that stuff. How have you guys been enjoying the comics so far, like my renderings? I know they're a bit janky, but you know what? You got to start somewhere. And
they're not janky. I actually like the whole idea that what John was saying to you about the whole business card sketching, dude. I mean, you can be the next one.
Love it. Maybe I should do some.
We got Sammy. What's going?
Welcome, Sammy.
What's happening?
Up, guy? How you doing, man?
What's up? What's up?
Not too much.
All right. Hey, if you're driving, please watch the road. But feel free to listen and contribute wherever you want. But
I'm at a stoplight.
Okay. Stoplights are fine. If you want to watch this, turn a stoplight. That's fine.
Don't do that. You're gonna crash.
This is most of my day, though. This is most of my day.
What do you do, Sammy?
I wholesale kitchens. I actually import a lot of different things from China and stuff like that. So I'm always on the go, man.
He's a kitchen master.
There you go. All right. Well,
yeah, I had a small emergency at a client. That's why I was trying to see the stream, like I told you earlier. Appreciate it, though.
Hey, you know what? That's why one of the reasons why I post in so many different locations. I post in the A Bit Too Far Discord. I post in the general for the Bitcoin Pub, as well as the cohort chat. And I was just recently thinking, hey, you know what? Why am I not freaking posting on Yen? I should totally do that. And so,
I'll post the Yen every chance I get.
There you go. So, I've started posting the Zoom chat. Come join us in those 4 locations. And as well as any personal messages that, if somebody's asking me, hey, what's the chat link again? There you go. But yeah, have you had a chance to see any of our previous podcasts, Sammy?
I have not looked at any of the podcasts.
Ooh, you are in for a treat.
Now he needs to tell us a joke.
Yeah, you got to tell us a joke, buddy. Welcome to A Bit Too Far. We're a cryptocurrency comic podcast. We've each told a joke, so it's your turn if you got one.
On the spot.
It's like
no clean ones right now. No clean ones right now.
Hey, you know what? We're called A Bit Too Far for a reason. It doesn't have to be clean. It's like, yeah, I don't know if you heard the joke about Sancho, but I've done that one and a few others.
No, I haven't. Which one's that?
Okay. Quick recap for anybody that hasn't heard this joke yet. All right, so a guy walks into a bar. I tend to be doing a lot of bar jokes. I don't know why, but okay. A guy walks into a bar, and he goes to the bartender. He's like, I'll take a beer. He's like, sure. So he gets his beer, and he's looking around, and he sees one guy on the other side of the bar, and he's like, all down his head, and he's like, hey, what's his story? And the bartender's like, you know what? That's not my story to tell. You have to ask him. He's like, you know what? Give me another beer. So he takes the 2 beers. He goes over there, and he offers one to the gentleman, and he's like, hey, this is for you, man. What's going on? You okay? And the guy's, thank you for the beer, my man. And he shakes his head, and he's like, look out that window. And he points in a direction. He's like, you see that house? I built that house. I sweat, I bleed, I put my life's work into it. And you know what? Does anybody thank me? Does anybody say thank you, house building Sancho? No, they do not. The guy is like, oh, shit, okay. He's like, look beyond the house. Do you see that castle? I built that castle. I bled, I sweat, I put my life into it. I break my bones. My family suffer for it. But does anybody say thank you, castle building Sancho? No, they do not. So he takes a swig of his beer, hangs his head down real low, and he says, but you fuck one goat. So welcome to A Bit Too Far, where the jokes might not be safe for work.
I've got one. I've got one.
Welcome to the show.
So these two tourists are in Mexico. They're walking around, and the wife looks at her was like looking for her watch. She's like, "Oh man, I don't have any time." And there was a nice show that they wanted to go to. And they see a gentleman sitting on the side of the road, sitting next to his donkey, and they walked up to him and they're like, "Sir, do you happen to know what time it is?" And the guy looks around. He's like, "Yes, I do." So he grabs the donkey by its balls and lifts him up. He's like, "Oh, it's 1:15." And sets the balls back down. And the husband is like amazed. He's like, "How can you do that? You just lift his balls up and it tells you what time it is by the weight of his balls?" He's like, "No, you see, I lift the balls up because they're so big and there's a clock right over there."
Yeah. Welcome to A Bit Too Far, where nothing is sacred. So, Sammy, glad that you had a good laugh. Hopefully you are reminded of some jokes somewhere that may or may not be appropriate. We don't give a shit. We welcome them all.
I got one that was similar to your bar joke.
Okay.
A guy goes into a bar and asks the bartender for a rum and coke. He just hands him an apple. The guy's like, "An apple?" He's like, "Yeah, taste it." Takes a bite. Says, "Tastes like rum." He goes, "Turn it around." Takes another bite. Says, "Tastes like coke." Oh my God. Another guy shows up and he's like, let me get a drink. He didn't know what he wanted to ask for. So he's like, "What should I get?" Guy goes, "It don't matter what you choose. This guy's got an apple that tastes like whatever you can ask for. It's my new favorite way to get drunk." Like, let me see. You got an apple that tastes like pussy? Hey, takes him out an apple. Takes a bite into it. He's like, "Oh, it tastes like ass." Turn it around.
Love it.
Yeah.
Welcome to A Bit Too Far, where we bring the jokes that you want to hear.
Delivered to you fresh.
From the other side of the apple.
Oh, I love that.
You got to turn it around.
From the other side of the apple, we bring you A Bit Too Far.
Tagline that one, bro.
I'm going to hashtag that shit.
So how's the comic going?
Dude, I bought the .com and the .io to A Bit Too Far. So abit2far.com, it has it's a dual blog. You know, I have the comic blog and then the podcast blog, you know, the vlog. And so it's looking great. You know, I had a couple calls that I had to have with GoDaddy support and figuring out how to make this shit work. You know, like anything out there.
Oh, they're not
but
as they say.
Well, you know, I'm more familiar with WordPress, but the simple GoDaddy solution to purchase and have them host at the same time, they didn't offer WordPress. I actually had to go to somebody else for that. And, you know, just for the ease of the bills and you know, whatnot, you know, they had a very simple template. I just needed to figure out how to make it work. And it doesn't quite do exactly.
But you can actually upload. Can't you upload WordPress onto your GoDaddy site? Because you got the actual domain.
It's quite possible. I could even probably change the
I've
hosting of it as well if I wanted to. But right now, I'm just trying to, you know, make the content work with what I got. And I think whenever it comes time to renew, I'll probably make changes then. You know, that way I can actually host the videos on the website instead of having it open up a new window, you know, taking people to the podcast videos. So, I mean, it's a work in progress. It looks amazing to me. And I'm posting every day. you know, I got so many comics. I got to freaking catch up. What was that?
At the WordPress, to my knowledge, if you do like a free WordPress site, it just has the extension of WordPress on it. But I have a few sites where I have them under GoDaddy.
Mm-hmm.
And I have them set up where I just have it hosting with GoDaddy and everything. But I'm doing it like on the sites through WordPress.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, right now, just the fact that I actually have it running, low system resources, your audio quality, try closing some applications to improve performance. Oh, yay, my computer is telling me that shit is slowing down. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and close Discord, and maybe that'll help speed things up a little bit. I'm going to close OBS as well.
Oh, your video is a little laggy.
Well,
your audio is fine.
That's simply because I'm using, you know, the laptop's, you know, built-in webcam, and the webcam from laptops are a piece of shit anyway.
Yeah,
you know,
the Logitechs are pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm upgrading to in the very near future. But yeah, you know, basically, I just need to get the website. I just need to get the website up and running, you know, just to put the content out there, and I'll deal with WordPress and plugins, you know, later. Simply because I don't have time to do all of the things that I'm obligated to do right now. Like, you know, I'm working on several comics at the same time. Like, I've been working on this, you know, bearded dragon, you know, comic for a while, just simply because I'm doing like a Calvin and Hobbes version. You know how when Calvin would be using his imagination and he'd see a dinosaur or some aliens, and it was like really detailed, very, you know, intricate. And it's just like, fuck yeah, that's a badass Tyrannosaurus Rex. And then you go to reality, and it's freaking, freaking a snowman with freaking sticks, you know, chasing Hobbes, you know, for some freaking reason. Or I don't fucking know, you know. But you know, that snap to reality in the Calvin and Hobbes world. That's basically what I'm doing with this comic right here. And that bearded dragon is a bigger detail than. It's quite a bit to chew on trying to do something that detailed. So, but yeah, the plan is after I get a following and I get enough details going, you know, to analyze what the heck, you know, is working and who's, you know, my audience. You know, I will probably link the abittofar.io to the .com. And host, like if there's a comic that people really, really love, then I'll, underneath that comic in like the description, I'll have a link to the .io for like the Shopify, so they can get a mug with their favorite comic on it, or a t-shirt with their favorite comic on it, you know. So, you know, eventually there will be productization, but, you know, right now I just need to, you know, crank out the content. So I'm not worrying too much about the WordPress versus whatever the fuck it is I'm using right now. So I am more familiar with WordPress from my affiliate marketing days. So I'd probably go back to WordPress, but that's going to be much later from now. You know, probably at least a year when I have to renew. But yeah. So where are you headed, Sammy? Where are you located?
I'm in Miami right now.
Miami. Ooh, dang it. What's the weather like out there?
Still in shorts.
Yeah, they're
Right
still in
now,
shorts already.
I'm in t-shirt. I'm not wearing shorts because it's not too professional, but I'm a t-shirt and jeans kind of guy.
That is true. That is true. You know, there nothing says unprofessional like, you know, t-shirt and shorts.
If I try to walk outside with a t-shirt, I'd be a little frosty.
Oh no! Right now it's actually cool today. It's actually a nice 77 degrees.
You hear this? This prick just said it's cool out, man. I got 37 degrees, man.
Dude, I got the AC in my car because if I don't have the shit, I'll
Dude, it's 77 degrees in your house only because you got your freaking mining rigs.
Yeah.
So he's saying it's as hot as it is inside your house right now.
Right, outside.
It's outside.
You know? I have no idea what it's like outside right now. I took the kids to school this morning, and it was a bit chilly. Hence the reason I was wearing that sweatshirt earlier. But now I'm just I'm literally still in my pajamas because it is my day off, and I'm gonna say fuck it. I'm not getting dressed if I don't have to. If we go out, fine. I'll put it on something decent.
Yeah. A hat.
Yes. Look, it's nice and shiny, brand new. No, honestly, the only reason I actually have this hat that I'm wearing it is because my dad gave it to me. I've been talking to my dad about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and yen, and everything that I've been building, and going through and learning, the classes for the alpha cohorts, and eventually, I guess me talking about it enough, he started doing some research and found a project that he wanted to invest in, and this happened to be it. This is the one that he was interested in. I think it's called XYO, but they are basically going to be using like drone technology, and you don't pay for anything until it's delivered to you, and you literally have like an RFID like thing that you carry on you, like those like little clicker size things. I'm just using a half eraser, but it's about that size or something like that, maybe a little bit bigger. Oops. Mm-hmm. And like literally the drone, will seek out the location of your chip to find you and deliver your product to you. And the second, the drone's chip and your chip, get in proximity, there's a transaction that happens. That's the smart contract. Your package is delivered to you, and the drone goes off on its own thing. I'm like, that freaking Amazon's probably gonna be looking at that shit. He's like, that's why I invested. I'm like, I hope you didn't put the house payment on it.
Well, hopefully he's making a better choice than this one. I do parts delivery or driving.
We can't hear you very well.
Oh, sorry. I do parts delivery driving, and there's one person that he's got to be like 85, 87 years old, something like that. And he was looking at stocks whenever I came to delivery over to his place. And I was like, man, it looks like that crap's tanking. He's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, man, you should look into Bitcoin. And he looks at me and smiles and picks up his phone. I'm like, oh, you know what it is already, huh? And he just kind of looks at me and smiles. And to my dismay, he pulls up that Ripple nipple.
Oh, no, not like this. Why the fuck would you plug Ripple into this freaking podcast? Fuck you, Brian. Fuck you.
The old guy is sitting there talking about buying it at around like $250. I'm like, were you watching CNBC or something, dude? Here, buy it $3. In a month from now, let's sell it $1.
Because that is smart investing right there, according to CNBC.
Right.
God. Like when something makes it to the news, that's the time to sell, because all of a sudden the FOMO's coming in and everybody's like, oh my God. And then people are going to start cashing out and people are going to lose their asses. It's like the second it makes it to the news, all right, I'm going to put my freaking, investment into Dogecoin. And
then even to my even more dismay, he pulls up Bitcoin. Now that was actually what I liked. But the next thing that came out of his mouth, I had to scoop my jaw off the ground when this old man told me this. He's like,
how old is this guy?
He's like 85, 87 years old. He was like, I almost bought Bitcoin at $3,500. He didn't.
He would still be up right now if he did.
Yes. That's what I was trying to tell him.
At my last job, when I was working security and I was doing all of the cryptocurrency research and investment research, listening to audiobooks by Tony Robbins and Robert Kiyosaki, I told some of my coworkers about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and there's this one guy there who really great man, and he had done his investments, his real estate, his, security business. Like he had his own firm. Like he was actually doing security, out of Humvees for like some of these, big higher end locations. Okay. I mean, the guy did a lot in his life and he made some money. Anyway, I told him about Bitcoin when it was like, just under $2,000. And he said he bought like, I want to say $200,000 worth. I'm like, fuck. Oh. I'm like, what the hell? He's like,
oh God.
And he's cashed out a couple times on the way up. Like he actually cashed out when Bitcoin was $20,000. I think he said he cashed out maybe about 10 of them. I'm like, fuck. Oh God. It's like,
I'm just a little jealous.
Back. He got it, dude. I'm like, can I have some?
Alms for the poor. Alms for the poor.
Have some more, please.
It's like, well, you know what, buddy? I am so glad that you took what I said to heart and you invested. That's freaking amazing. He's like, oh, dude, I've totally gone into Bitcoin. Like I freaking did the research. I looked at it. The math makes sense. I love this blockchain technology. I'm holding this shit for 10 years, and some of it I'm not going to sell. I'm going to give it to my grandkids. I'm like, fuck yeah. It's going to pay for their college education. I'm like, fuck yeah. And he's like, I'm done. I'm done.
Right.
Maybe if there's another bear market, I might buy some more, but I'm done. I'm good. I'm like, yeah, you are. Shit.
I've got a half a ticket, so I'm happy.
You got half a ticket? Outstanding. Yep. So if it goes up to $1 million, you at least got 500.
Right, dude. I'm straight. Be like, I'll quit my job. I'll make my own job now. Thank you very much.
Make your own job. Building cars, man.
Mm-hmm.
Building cars, setting up mining rigs for people, dude. I ran out of coffee.
You got to upgrade. It's time to just take it to the next level, brother. It's Aloha Friday.
Right, time to game up.
Dude, it is Friday. But I have one beer left in my fridge. I'm probably going to, drink that tonight on tonight's stream. So, join me. Join me. Yes, we drink alcohol on this podcast. We also vape.
I just need some of that Crypto Mom's blueberry juice, man.
Dude,
true.
Oh my
that
God.
Stuff with that
I was so pissed off
with my rum. Oh my God, it's amazing.
That blueberry lemonade is the shit. Like, you want a hangover cure? Drink that blueberry lemonade. Fuck. But no, I was pissed off as hell when the TSA took my Sundrop, they took my blueberry jam, and they took my blueberry barn sauce, the barbecue sauce that she makes.
Carry-on? Is that what you did?
Say what?
You took it on as carry-on?
Yeah, I only had my one backpack. I didn't have anything that went under the plane because that would cost money to put it under the plane. So there's some TSA agent somewhere that I'm pretty sure he's like, blueberry barn sauce. Or they'd be like, you know what?
That lemonade looks delicious.
No, I drank my lemonade before I got in the airport.
Oh, good.
Fucking getting that from me.
Right, dude?
God. I still wish I could have tried that blueberry jam, though. And, oh, God.
Oh, it's delicious. I'm just going to tell you. You can FOMO.
I will FOMO. You know what? I'm going to have to reach out to Crypto Mom and let her know, man. Hook it up.
Right. I got to get a supply chain of that juice of hers. Oh, my God.
There you go. Dude, like as far as people with the most grind, I mean, there are a few people that are really shining in our cryptocurrency community as far as who's grinding their asses off.
Yep.
We have our DCTV correspondents. Well, thank you. We have our DCTV correspondents like Colin. I mean, Colin is freaking, not only is he doing his military work, but he's also doing DCTV and working on, learning how to code.
Yeah, man.
Upgrading his freaking, repertoire, his skill set. And it's like, you got Crypto Mom with her organic blueberry farm and every other thing that she's doing on the farmer's market, making her blueberry jams, her blueberry lemonades, her freaking blueberry barn sauce. And
right, and she's setting up blueberry fields, like new blueberry fields, so that she can expand. I'm watching some of those videos. That's actually cool.
Yes, yes. And then we got Brian. We got you and your channel and your mining channel. We got freaking Frederick and his channel. I was like how many of us are actually putting out, crushing this content? I mean, fuck, man. Delirium Igniter. We talked about him last night. Like, he actually had to leave the pub.
He's gotten so big.
He's gotten so big. He's got so much going on that he just doesn't have time for the smaller stuff. He's got to make his priorities. And you know what? That your own personal grind and your own personal hustle is definitely a priority. So I am waiting for the day. And dreading it, the day that I actually have to leave the pub myself. I don't want to. This has been amazing, having all you guys here and being a part of the pub and everything. So,
right.
But the inevitable, will happen if the grind continues and you never stop. Welcome back, Tony.
I'm getting evicted over here. My wife's like, I need to get in there. Okay, let me move.
Yeah. Well, my wife, she just she came home from her caregiving job early this morning. I think about 5:30, maybe 6 o'clock this morning, and it's now like 9:46 my time, and I think I might have accidentally woke her up. It's like, oh shit. First thing she does when she opens that door, she looks at me and goes, it's like, oops. It's like, baby, can you get me some coffee?
Right.
No. You don't want to piss off Mama Bear when she just wakes up.
No. That's rule one.
Rule one. Anyway, so what other things are going on in your life? Like any other side projects or new developments in your projects, guys? What's been going on with you? We've talked a lot about A Bit Too Far and my plan and what we've been doing and cranking out over here. But I'd love to have some updates on any recent developments for you guys.
Me and Nemesis is going to get together soon, man. I mean, just really, my schedule's open to whatever whatever you could squeeze me in, man. Kind of like, if I can get started now, then shit, dude, let me know if you got time this weekend or any other time.
Or give me a list of what time right after this chat right here. I don't know why you stalling.
Right.
Hey, hint. But I might be fragile because I might be operating under the influence.
Right.
Shoot, man, one ain't gonna give you a damn buzz for shit.
No, I see that vaping over there. I was like, God damn, I need a buzz.
You started drinking before you got evicted. I think we know what the problem is.
When my rig gets like, what's wrong with your rig? I don't know. I think I spilled some fucking beer.
Right.
But damn.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I mean, just as soon as Nemesis says, what do you think I should do? Nemesis, just open up all the boxes and then kind of...
Yeah, take an assessment of what you got, lay it all out.
Okay.
Definitely build your rack. That could be step one, get the rack built.
Yeah, the rack is already built.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Everything's just kind of sitting on the side and on top of it. And, I think the only part too that, as I'm trying to build this rig out, I'm like, where do I want to leave it? In the basement or up where I was at earlier in my office? Or I just don't want it to be in the office if it's going to be loud because
it's not that loud actually.
Okay. That's good to know.
Even if it was loud, you could actually still build an enclosure that helps numb out the sound. You can even put insulation around it.
I wouldn't go that far, but as funny as it sounds, you can use a hydroponic grow tent.
And it will definitely, keep the sound down a little bit,
Yeah, and it'll control the heat.
Yeah. You could actually funnel the heat in and out, like fresh air out. Much like my brother. my brother decided that he wanted to save money and no longer purchase weed out here in California. So he decided to grow his own, and by growing his own, he should save about $240 a year. And so that's exactly what he's doing. Like he looked up with the research on like the pH balances, the sunlight, and the different stages of life for the plant, and what kind of sunlight and pH balances and airflow that they need at those stages. And so he's actually got one of those tents that Brian was talking about, and it's nice, reflective on the inside, so the lights actually help grow it, shine on all the leaves from all over instead of just the light source on top. But yeah, he's got it set up to where he has airflow coming in from outside, going through a filter, going into the tent, and then exhausting out the top. And it cool. Maintains a good temperature that's optimal for their growth. And so Brian was saying you could use one of those grow tents. He's not joking. Like, you could literally set up a nice little rig inside one of those things, and then set up a exhaust, to move air and flow it through it to help cool it off, and maybe even heat your home. Just have it pointed in whatever direction you need it.
Nice.
I mean,
saving $240 a year seems like a lot of work, though.
Well, you know what? In the span of a year, if you could build it in a weekend, is it really too much work?
You're right.
You're right. I mean, that's. I like how I keep referring back to what John said, because it was so instrumental having him on the stream like 2 nights in a row, especially the first night where he was actually handing out advice. But to just get started, do something, don't stop. I mean, the standard is so low. Just start, put content out. It's like start building something, put your rig together, however little bit it is. Just start working on it, start building it. And, eventually, much like dollar cost averaging your money into a project to time cost average your build. Time cost averaging.
They say.
Yeah, DCA your time into it.
Fuck that.
I'll be right back. My mom is calling me. Got the mama bear.
The boss.
He got caught.
I've never been a fan of DCA, man. I just it just seems like too much of a commitment, where I just buy when I see dips like this, significant dips.
Mm-hmm.
That's my form of DCA. So like yesterday and today, I feel like I've done better that way versus DCAing every week, committed to a timeline that, to me, it doesn't make sense buying when it feels like you're, you know what I mean? Like you're buying at a high. So,
I can see your point, but I think one of
Exacto. Yo porque tengo que ir a hacer una medida, por eso nada más tengo que ir. Okay, gracias.
Gracias, Sammy, for that wonderful Spanish. It's way better than mine.
Sorry about that. I thought I was on mute.
I was like, is that Sancho?
Nah, that's me, brother.
No, Sancho.
Gotta go see another client now.
All good, brother.
There you go.
Sorry, I had to go off for a quick second there. But I've been listening in. Solid.
Yeah. Well, the thing about DCA that I find so amazing is that it builds it. Forget about commitment or it's a solid dedication to solid business practices. Hold on.
Get down.
I got to get the dog downstairs. 1 second.
Go ahead. What about you, Sammy? Do you do this DCA process a lot?
I've been trying to do as much as I can, all that I can.
I hear that. I mean, I was just talking.
I actually have been DC. Yeah, I was saying you guys were talking about the DCA.
Yeah.
I was talking to Nemesis up in Atlanta when we were there, and I don't know if you remember, but I was saying I got some. I bought some minis so I could put in money. I did that initial purchase just so I'm trying to mine with that and DCA with that, just exchanging it.
Right on.
You know, I actually bought 5 of them, so I'm getting close to like about $700-800 a month with it. So I'm just using that for exchanging it into the crypto instead.
Awesome.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but that actually sounds profitable.
Yeah. You were breaking up. So you bought mini what?
The Z9 minis.
The Z9 minis? You're actually making money on those.
Yeah.
What are Z9 minis?
The ASICs.
Okay.
They make money. Not like they did when they first came out. But have you done your overclocks on them?
I've seen a lot of reviews. A lot of people have them overclocked up to 650.
Oh, yes.
I got it all the way up to 687, and it's been running stable. And I got another one. Yeah.
You're gonna get the master?
Nah, I'm not gonna get the master node. You're talking about the master node, right?
No, the Z9 master.
Oh no. Nah. The ROI is just it keeps getting prolonged after all the sales and stuff like that. First month I pulled I think about $1,200. Now I think this last month was probably what was it? Because the coin's also been going low. But instead of $1,200, I think now maybe if you do it at the same price point, I think maybe it's like a 1,100 or about 1,000, something like that. If you leave it at the same price point, more or less.
See, I've been mining on some of that Ethereum Classic, and I have noticed in the last couple of days, I'm actually becoming a little more profitable.
Yeah.
With this market dip, people are turning the rigs off.
With moving the warehouse, my GPUs, I haven't even fucking set those up. They've been off for the last 2 months. And it's not about the electricity bill, about being profitable or not, because I believe in it. And it's just about making more coins. It don't matter what it costs right now. Look at it towards the future. That's how I see it, at least.
Get that thing set up.
Hells yeah, man. Hells yeah.
And about
passive income.
and going back to a conversation you guys were having, I was having a conversation with the wife, and we're talking about doing probably like a Florida P-Pay or something like that for my girls. My girls are still small, younger than yours, Chris. My oldest is 3, and the littlest one is 1.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome.
Yeah, but we're thinking about their future. So what I did is I was talking to the wife, and I told her, I go, look, instead of doing one of those traditional prepays or something like that end up taking your money, I said, let's get them a Bitcoin. So I got them a Bitcoin each so far, and I have them I put them in a ledger, so when they turn 18, I hope that's going to be enough money for them to decide what they want to do with.
Well, you know, your oldest has like 15 years, so I'm pretty sure in 15 years Bitcoin's going to be worth one hell of a lot. All right, so solid plan. You get a solid Bitcoin for each one of them, and they're good to go.
What scares me about that is just having it on a ledger, wondering if you're going to be able to pull it off after 15 years. If it becomes a legacy tech, you got to be.
You got to stay on top of it, and if it needs to be updated, you do it.
I mean, change it somewhere else. Yeah. I just haven't been able to go to drop into a box. That's the plan. The plan is dropping it into a safe deposit box. That's their gift from when they turn 18. Yeah. A graduation gift, for college, for a car, what they would want.
I bet you even if it's outdated tech, you can still fish it off.
We're about to lose stream. We got less than a minute. You guys want to do another one?
I've got a few things I need to start doing, so.
All right, then, guys.
I got about an hour drive.
All right. I could do one more. So we'll go ahead and do one more, and we'll see you guys again. Brian, thanks for being here.
I might stop up on your later night one.